Well, it's time for me to sell my beloved 2013 Chevy Volt, and a lot of you guys didn't even know that I owned this car because I've only made 2 videos with it. But this Chevy Volt has been my daily driver for the last 4 years, and it's been the best daily driver I've ever owned. It's practically maintenance-free and perfect. There are only 2 reasons why I'd get rid of such a nice car. First of all, I've had it for 4 years, which is entirely way too long for me to own any daily driver. And secondly, and most importantly, is because I've always wanted to own what I believe to be the best turbo diesel Mercedes-Benz car ever built. I've wanted to daily drive one. I've wanted to take it on road trips and really rack up the miles. I've wanted to modify the car and make it my own. So in today's video, I'm super excited to show you guys my 268,000 mile 2005 E320 CDI. Now, for those of you not too familiar with the E320 CDI, this car was only sold in the United States for model years 2005 and 2006, making this a very rare car here. But as you could imagine, the Europeans and other places around the world got this car for a lot longer than we did, and more importantly, they got this car's engine or very similar variants to this engine in many different Mercedes-Benz models. So to all you Europeans out there watching, you guys are lucky. Now, if you think that this car looks exactly like a gas-burning base model E320, you'd be correct. The only distinguishing feature telling you that this car has a diesel engine is right here where it says CDI. And if I'm incorrect about that, if there's other things that would let you know this car is a diesel, make sure to check out the comment section down below, where there is no doubt going to be a few diesel gurus that are going to be correcting me throughout this entire video. I've driven this car for about the last 350 miles, or roughly a half tank of fuel, and the way that you were seeing it is exactly how I bought it. I haven't cleaned the car or done any work to it at all. So in the upcoming episodes, you will learn how much the cheapest CDI in the country cost me, what's wrong with it, and why all of you should never buy a car sight unseen with no pre-purchase inspection like I did. Of course, we're gonna fix the CDI up and modify it, but today's video is all about proving to you guys why this is the best turbo diesel Mercedes-Benz car ever built. And to do that, we have to go somewhere much warmer. Quite frankly, I'm freezing right now. So the awesome guys at the Auto Barn Warehouse in Evanston, Illinois are gonna let me use their garage to film the rest of the video, even though I didn't buy this car from them. Those guys would never sell something in this condition. No. They sell stuff like this, 2 amazing 911 Porsches, a bunch of different motorcycles, and like these. So definitely check out their inventory linked in the video description box. Okay, so in order for me to prove to all of you guys that this is indeed the best turbo diesel Mercedes-Benz ever built, we have to talk about what was available to us here in the United States before 2005, and especially what Mercedes gave us with a diesel engine after this car's short 2-year run. But before I do that, and because I've now bought 3 really rare Mercedes-Benz in the last 18 months or so, I have to share with you guys how I find these really rare cars, and that's basically by cheating and using Autotempest.com. So here is me looking for a car for a friend. Go to Autotempest.com, type in what you're looking for, click search, and that's it. Autotempest searches all of the major online marketplaces like Auto Trader, Car Gurus, Cars.com, and eBay, and you get the results on one simple and well-organized page. It's just that easy. Now here's me searching for a CDI. This car is pretty rare, but Autotempest still found me many listings, and because Autotempest gives you all of them at once, plus links to nationwide Craigslist results without limiting you to a 200-mile search radius like Craigslist does, I found this car in about 28 seconds. So to find your next really rare car, or any car for that matter, check out the link down below to Autotempest.com. Now, I'm going to start by showing you guys some Mercedes that came out before this, and it's going to look just like these cars are here in the showroom showroom floor with me, and this is because of the magical powers of editing. But I gotta be honest with you guys here, these cars aren't actually here, even though it's gonna look just like they are. We're gonna start off with the oldies, the ones that everybody knows. These are the cars from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and these have a massive cult following. These cars would last basically forever, with a lot of them still on the roads today, and you could run practically anything you wanted in the fuel tank. Now, the problem with these cars is that they were very underpowered, with some models coming in at less than 100 horsepower. Then as you got into the mid-80s, they tried to inject a little bit of technology and some newer parts into these cars, and that basically caused a lot of reliability issues. They were also like what everybody thinks a diesel car is like. They were loud, they were smoky, they were clanky, and they smelled all the time. And because of all this, they simply can't be the best. After the big body boats ended in the 80s and 90s, Mercedes-Benz blessed us with this, the awesome 210 chassis E300 diesel. Now, I actually owned a 99 E55 AMG, and I always thought that the 210 chassis body style was just timeless. I really liked the look of that car. Now, the E300 diesel did come with a very durable engine, but again, it was very underpowered. You got no turbocharger and no direct injection, but you did get the awesome bulletproof 722.6 5-speed automatic transmission. And then in 98 and 99, Mercedes-Benz did add that turbocharger, which increased the horsepower and torque dramatically. So we were definitely headed in the right direction. And that brings us to 2005, the year that Mercedes-Benz also gave us the most reliable and cheapest to own AMG car, the C55. Now, despite what some people say, 2005 was actually an amazing year for Mercedes-Benz. This is a time where you could still get bulletproof gasoline engines in the 112 and 113, and you could still opt for the awesome 5-speed automatic instead of the troublesome first years of the 7-speed. This is a time before all the issues with camshafts, camshaft adjusters, timing chains, head bolts, you name it, AMG or non-AMG, Mercedes-Benz had a ton of issues after 05. Then they went ahead and added this, the best Mercedes turbo diesel car ever built. So under the hood is an unbelievable 3.2 liter dual overhead cam turbocharged straight 6 CDI, which stands for Common Rail Direct Port Injection. This engine made 201 horsepower and an amazing 369 pound-feet of torque. And yes, this car will rip awesome burnouts. Designated the OM648, this engine did not require much maintenance at all, with Mercedes-Benz saying you could go upwards of 12,000 miles in between oil changes. Now, this is something I won't be doing personally, but you could. You would then change your fuel filter every 20,000 miles, and that's about it. So I'll go over this a little bit more in a future video when we start modifying this car, but there are two problematic areas with the engine, one being the Egr valve and one being a little inlet motor that controls these flaps in the intake manifold. But both of those items are very easily deleted. So this engine isn't riddled with a bunch of crazy emission control parts that are going to cost a lot of money to fix and completely negate the fact that you bought a diesel. You buy a diesel to save money on fuel and maintenance. So if you're always fixing emission control devices, you might as well have bought a gasoline car. So the E320 CDI came out after all of the loud, smoky, and clunky diesels, and right before all the crazy emission control diesels that eventually caused Mercedes-Benz to stop selling a diesel car outside of Sprinter in the United States. So this is kind of like the perfect combination of technology to give you really good performance, economy, and reliability, but not too much tech to where it's braking all the time. The 05-06 CDI was rated for 27 mpg in the city and 37 miles per gallon on the highway, with many people surpassing 40 miles per gallon without having to baby the car or hypermile the car at all. These cars aren't loud. They don't smoke at all. And they don't smell like an old dirty diesel. The CDI is very smooth, very precise, very fun to drive, and we're gonna find out if we can make them even faster and even more fuel efficient. Also, comment down below if you think that we should probably do something about these yellowed headlights. Now, to really drive this home, these cars can be found for not a lot of money. This is actually the cheapest CDI in the country, and I'll go over that in a future video along with everything that's wrong with this car. But I basically paid beater Honda Civic prices for a car that has heated leather seats, navigation, a sunroof, gets 40 mpg, has an awesome ride, and did I mention that I could do wicked burnouts? Something else that's worth noting is that the car shares practically everything else with the normal 211 chassis E-Class, so parts are readily available. I actually found a few part outs right by my house, so I'll be getting some interior parts like replacing this disgusting steering wheel and shifter, this little thing that's broken right here, and all of this stuff is very, very inexpensive. The car doesn't have any air suspension. The electronic SBC brakes are now covered for 25 years under a factory extended Mercedes-Benz warranty, so you really don't have too much to worry about, even with 268,000 miles. Now, before we move on and I tell you about the diesels that came out after this one and why I don't really think those are the best diesels, I gotta tell you about an awesome YouTube channel called MBDIESELFREAK. This guy only has like 400 subscribers right now, and he has some really good diesel content. He also owns an 05 E320 CDI just like mine, but it has 451,000 original miles. We're talking original engine and original transmission. Now, keep in mind the timing chain on this engine is completely lifetime. You never have to replace it, but he did his anyway, and what he found was pretty cool. The original chain measured in almost identical to the new chain, and the timing chain guides were in perfect condition, so he really never did have to do the job at all. Now, in Europe, it's not uncommon to see cars with this exact engine going upwards of 1 million miles, or exactly 1,356,000 kilometers. I think that's right. Okay, so we've established that this car is pretty awesome, but what solidifies it for me, what makes this the best turbo diesel car ever made by Mercedes, is what came out right after it. Normally, as cars get newer, they get better, but that wasn't the case with the facelifted 211 chassis E-Class with the new OM642 BlueTech V6. This new V6 diesel engine also came in the ML, GL, and R class, even though those still said CDI on the back for a few years, and it was nothing but problems, especially in the beginning. I worked as a dealer tech at Mercedes from 03 to 2012, and let me tell you this, we didn't do anything but maintenance on these cars, but when those V6 diesels came out, it was nothing but warranty work. They had an oil cooler that would always fail, and then eventually they all had urea injection or DEF fluid. This is a fluid that gets injected into the exhaust post-combustion, so that came with a lot of complexities. You had nozzles, lines, a tank, a heater, all this stuff could break and would break, and you would end up spending a lot of money to fix one of these cars, especially now since they're all way out of warranty. Now, even though you'd get a ton of warnings, technically if you ran out of the fluid, the car wouldn't restart, which is just kind of ridiculous if you think about it. This is post-combustion, so it doesn't affect the way the engine runs. So if you have a gasoline car that's misfiring and polluting all over the place, you can still drive the car to safety. These cars at some point would not start. It wouldn't allow you to start the car, and I just think that is completely nuts. To top this all off, all the BlueTech cars got a really expensive diesel particulate filter that this car didn't have, and they actually got worse fuel economy than the older CDI, despite having 2 extra gears in the new 7-speed automatic transmission. More recently, Mercedes-Benz stuck a turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel in their newer body style E250. Now, this is an amazing car with a ton of awesome features, but considering that it has 2 less cylinders and 2 more gears in the transmission and about 10 more years of advancement in engine management technology, you'd think the fuel economy would be a lot better, but it isn't. City fuel economy is just about the same at 28 mpg, and on the highway you're going to get about 42 miles per gallon in the turbocharged 4-cylinder. So to recap, the 2005-2006 E320 CDI is obviously the best turbo diesel car Mercedes-Benz has ever built, and all of you guys watching should definitely go out and buy one. That is, if you can find them. They're actually kind of hard to find. I had this one shipped from Iowa. Like I said, sight unseen, so definitely stay stay tuned for the next video on this car as I show you everything the previous owner lied about. With that being said, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up button if you did, subscribe if you're new, share the video, and most importantly, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video.